Buy me more.
VRware. Our passion is for the future.
Hello and welcome back to VRML, my Breachers fans. I am Philibust, your host for the evening. Joining me today is my buddy Ripster. We got a monumental one for you as Breachers actually just dropped a huge patch today. We got some nerfs to the Cyclone, nerfs to the Jesper, some recoil adjustments. Excited to see how this is going to affect the play and the meta going into this one. How you doing tonight, Ripster? You get a chance to try the new patch out?
Just barely hopped into it a little bit right before getting into this. I did want to try it out, see what the Jesper felt like, and the Cyclone, because the Cyclone was very meta. Wanted to see if there'd be any changes, especially looking at doing the cast tonight, where I'm going to be running most of the analyst and kind of breaking down the plays, breaking down the metas, what's working, what's not. And so seeing these patches coming out today was super exciting to see. Some of the recoil changes and things they made were very exciting. Makes the guns feel a lot smoother, a lot more cleaner, a lot cleaner, particularly on the Taurus and the Marui. All in all, I really like the changes that they've made, and hopefully we'll be seeing those changes impact in this match tonight. Have a really good match.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a great matchup. A couple of newer teams coming in today. We can take a look at the matchups, but I don't think we have any data on either of them. Yeah, both of them 0 and 0 coming in, so just some random seeding. But excited to see some of these new names popping up, and who's gonna make a name for themselves out of the gate. I guess they missed week 1. We are into the second week of VRML. We are gonna see the hype matches. Hype level is going to go up and up and up as the elos start to level out and the games start to go a little more back and forth. But yeah, I did get a chance to talk with a couple of the members from each team. We got PURO, VATO, LOCO. In-game leader is going to be EC Wee on their team. Am I saying that right? We're just going to call him SA. SA? Does that sound right?
I think it's SA Way. It's a play on. It's actually a Spanish slang. SA Way, which means like this dude in Spanish.
Got you. So SA, or Way as we're going to call him, is going to be IGLing for PVL, and we've got Rip Red IGLing for the side of Team Rush. Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of strategies and meta. I mean, the meta is so brand new in this game. I'm just loving it. I got my little black notebook out here. Every time I'm watching a match, I'm going to take notes on anything new that I see so I can add it to the playbook, to the little bag of tricks. So you guys are watching at home, kind of bust those notebooks out and get ready to add some plays into the playbook here.
Particularly if you're looking at adding or trying to play in these tournaments, because you can join the Discord, join the website, and get registered to play and compete in VRML. And we encourage you to do so. And so if you're looking at trying to play competitively, get a team together, or even join an existing team, the Discord is going to be the place where you're going to want to look to get that all set up to try and get in on some of this action.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if you just here for the spectator sport, you can still head over to the VRML website. You go to the Breachers category. We've got 4 regions. We've got North America, Oceanic, European, and another one. There's a bunch of them, but you can check out all the matches, and you can vote for which matches you want to see casted, who you think is going to win. I know they track the predictions and who gets the most predictions right. I'm not sure if there's prizes or what have you, but it's a fun little way for even the viewers to get interacted and get involved. So hop on over to the VRML website and yeah, get involved in the game. We got a little bit of time here, as it looks like still waiting on one member for Team Rush to jump into the server. Let me just make sure I'm keeping the comms up in case they're like spamming me like, hey, we're ready to start 4v5 or something like that. But we do got a little bit of time. While we're here, let's talk a little bit about today's sponsors. We got HyperX, one of our main sponsors. I know you're using a HyperX headset most of the time, even while you're playing on Quest. Is that right?
I do. Yeah, I play on Quest, but I play through my PC through Airlink, just so I can use my HyperX cloud or my HyperX Flight headset. I absolutely love HyperX. Would never buy a different headset. I think they make fantastic headsets, super comfortable, great battery life, great audio quality. The microphones are pretty good too. And on top of it all, I think HyperX just has really good customer service. I actually have the HyperX Haste Pulsefire Haste Wireless because I needed a lighter mouse, and the scroll wheel ended up going out on it, and I contacted customer support, and they sent me a brand new one within like a week. And so just super nice, really good customer service, really solid company, and they make really good products as well.
Nice. That's good to hear. Yeah, HyperX makes everything from mice to microphones, gaming headsets, for competitive gamers. Here at the casting desk, we love a lot of HyperX products. And leading into one of our other sponsors, ProTube. I actually use a MagTube by ProTube. It's pretty awesome. I know Breacher's a really fast-paced setup. I don't even lock in the front. I got a pretty weird setup. You can check it out on my YouTube page. But the MagTube by ProTube is a very, very premium gun stock. If you are struggling with shaky aim in any of these VR shooters, the ProTube gun stocks are going to be a perfect solution for you to stabilize that aim. And I'm going to let the teams know that we are ready to go, as it looks like all 5 members of Rush are in the server.
And it looks like they've actually started into our first map here on Hideout. So we are going to be seeing Rush here on the attacking side starting off as we come into this ground level bomb site here in Gym. And we are going to be seeing PURO, VATO, LOCO. PVL is going to be our defending side for this first half. About 30 seconds before we get into this first round. And we'll see, potentially the very first rounds is always an interesting one because the teams are just kind of prodding each other, trying to feel each other out, seeing what kind of setups, things that might work. We do see some utility invested towards the A side, a tripwire and a static. So maybe we'll see some of that influence Rush at all. Rush, however, looks like they're moving the EMP more towards gym wall, which has been pretty standard. We see a lot of teams trying to go through this gym wall and just get a quick entry onto B.
Yep, and it looks like, starting off with the bottom floor bomb setup. 3 members here stacking up outside the garage. They got the foam on that B wall ready to go. They're going to blow the wall and then push up to the top floor, looking like they're going to try and take control of the hatches. I don't see any roams on the side of PURO, VATO, LOCO. So a free hatch pop for them. They're going to blow this hatch into the B bomb site. And what do we have for a defense? FIDA 8. Nice and tucked. Smart position here behind this bomb site. He's got sights on the hole in the wall. And he's protected from any drop down from that hatch. So you see Rip Red with the EMP. You got Mr. Virus over here in the parkour section of this B bomb site. So a nice paced start here from Rush. I like to see this. Take your time, get some map control. You see, looks like we got Ash and Thriller also working down the back small staircase into this back hall.
We might have a 3-man hatch drop here. 3-man do drop the hatch.
Yep, and they rush immediately into the connector and start to crunch onto A. The A is going to be the crunch here. Ripred getting a huge start with 3 kills. Feta finally drops Giselle, but Ash coming up with the second 2. What a clean round by Rush to start things off. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely massive there. You see 3 of them getting ready to hit that hatch. They set up for a while. They had the hatch, foamed it. You see him standing on top of Rip Red, standing there. I was curious what they were going to do because they had the EMP on top of hatch. Typically, when you're going for a play like that, usually you're just holding the connector, making sure no one can rotate, and more isolating and constricting the movement of your opponents, while you can go for a much safer plant through the gym wall. But with the EMP on top of the hatch, I was like, are they going to... And then they started stacking players on top of that hatch, and 3 players dropping and instantly rushing onto the A site. You had people crunching from both sides through the main hallway and through boiler. And even though they did have a flank because they left B completely alone as they ran through the connector, the flank wasn't able to do enough because of the speed that Rush really hit them with. They really just showed that they were going to rush this.
I gotta cut you off here because I was just talking about this new buy strategy. Let's take a look. Look at that. 4 members from Team Rush buying up into Vezins here on the second round. This is this new meta of the economic strategy I think you're going to start seeing a lot more of, as Ash, who also could have bought into a Vezin, but probably buying attachments for his team. Such a dominant first round, and they're going to be able to fully buy up into 4 rifles going into the second round. And we're seeing a middle floor bomb site set up, and all 5 members of Team Rush stacked onto this side. So I wonder if we're going to see a little bit faster of a play. Looks like they're not interested in taking the floor above and going with hatches. They are going to push immediately into this laundry side through the garage, foaming up the wall. It's going to be an instant crunch on a B. Easy ways get caught completely by his lonesome exposed as soon as that hole in the wall is broke. Feta getting caught in the connector there. Missed Virus is coming through with the flank through garage, but Salty Raccoon is watching the backside. Virus gets the first one, but Jay Zeal is going to turn around. Yep, he's going to finish that deal. Now a 2v4 situation as Riarpa and Adrian are going to be left in a 2v4, and they did buy up into a couple of omens here, so they do have some weaponry to work with as Adrian works his way around to this back hallway, taking his time. EMP is planted, so they're going to have to make their move soon. Let's see.
Oh, they're holding below the hatch.
Yeah.
They're waiting to hear if someone tries to defuse, and they're going to blow that hatch.
What a sneaky play. They are going for the defuse. There goes the hatch blow. Yep. And Raptor drops. And yep. Adrian also not aware that Thriller was lurking just outside of the garage there. So another beautiful round by Rush. Strategically, execution-wise, very dominant start coming up from Rush, going up 2-0 here on Hideout.
And Rush, they just look so prepared right now as they're going into this. I mean, they've had site executes. We're seeing site executes from where they have a plan. They're hitting the wall. They're getting the plant in a specific spot, so that way they can then rotate out. They have 3 people holding below the hatch. They have all the information that they need, and on top of that, they have the rifles. Now, tragically, for the side of PVL, we're going to see another SMG buy here. Now, we are going to see everyone picking up SMGs. That is going to be another force buy for them, where they're going to have SMGs instead of Vezins. And, you know, the Vezin is just, it still is the meta gun where it's got the higher fire rate, the bigger magazine, and it will 1-tap in the head at close range, 2-tap at long range. So we are going to see Rush still having the advantage gun-wise as well, with, looks like only Salty Raccoon unable to pick up a Vezin of their own.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's a tough trap that you don't want to fall into. Once you start losing some rounds, you get caught force buying SMGs, and you can get stuck like that for the entire rest of the half, just force buying SMGs and never getting to buy up into those full meta Vezins. So something to think about. If you're a newer team and you are considering, really think about adding the save strategy into your playbook there, because you might want to just throw 1 or 2 rounds away with just Cyclones or Jespers even, and buy up into full Vezins going into that next round. We are going to see 3 of these members working in. Missed Virus in a nice spot, trying to get the shots, but runs out of ammunition and doesn't quite manage to drop JJ Zeal. I think his bullets were just clipping into the tube there. Unfortunate situation as PVL once again in a man disadvantage, 4v5. Smoke comes in under the A bomb site. Salty Raccoon and Thriller looking to work their way in, as Rip Red does have the bomb in that hallway. Ash finds Easy Weezy. JZL Rapid drops in the connector. Nice nade from Fida 8A, but he eventually does drop, and now it's all onto Adrian, and he's going to get dropped by Giselle. Sorry as my camera work gets fumbled up there. Another clean round from Rush. You gotta admit, they're off to a really strong start here.
And Rush, I mean, I do appreciate PVL did adapt a little bit. They committed 1 player to lurk on our roam the 2nd floor, try to stop any potential hatch shenanigans, but Rush just completely changed up what they were doing and decide to completely rush through Wine and take the A site from that direction. They're largely ignoring the B site, which is something we really haven't seen very much of. Something very exciting. We do see that little, I actually think it was a static that killed, as he vaulted into the window, was a static grenade or a static field that got that kill. So a little comical there, but in the end, it really didn't matter, as Rush just has so much space. And they're really, really fast, and I think they're just catching PVL off guard for the most part. I really don't think they're ready for this coordinated aggression that Rush is presenting.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, we're going to see the SMG buys coming out from PVL, so hopefully they can find a way to get locked out of this trap. If they can squeeze around together, they should be able to stack up enough money to buy full rifles going into one of these rounds, but for now, looks like we are going to see them still on the SMGs. Looks like Rappa wants to get pretty aggressive positioning there in the corner, trying to fight this top catwalk right off the bat. Miss Virus in another cheeky corner is going to be good for 1, but Ash manages to trade him out. Fida getting aggressive here on the top floor, finding another one on that front doorway. Now his position, ooh, good damage there onto Ash, but Ash does manage to drop him, and you're seeing the power of the Vezin versus these subpar weapons. So let's go on board with Adrian here. Oops, sorry, I was getting my keybind. I changed my binds right before this. That was probably a bad idea. So Adrian here defending on this A bomb site. Here's the foam going. Tries to get aggressive. Manages to drop Ash. Half the damage onto Red, but not quite there. Easy Weezy on the flank, and Thriller's going to be ready for it and drops him as well. up 4-0 now. Our Rush here on this first map of Hideout.
And honestly, I am appreciating PVL. They are making it a little bit closer, but I really just want them to see to commit to saving a round. And at this point, I mean, you're on round 5 of the first half, and there's 6 rounds in that first half. You've committed. You can't really save anymore, because now if you give up a round now for a rifle, you can at most pick up 1 round. So they're kind of too deep. They just kind of want to keep committing a save here. Now, Mist, Virus, I would have loved a little bit more trigger discipline from him there. You know, on the balcony, he wasn't spotted. He saw him fully cloaked running out on that catwalk there, up on the balcony. And I think if he had waited, he would have been good for 2, been able to get 2 quick taps, because no one would have cleared that spot. He was a little trigger happy. He was able to get 1, and then after you get 1 and you're in that kind of position, you're just done. There's no way to get any more kills. All the kills are off the board. You can just play your life and hope that you pick up 1 more before they swing and pre-fire your position, which is exactly what he tried to do and ended up falling.
Absolutely. There is no escape from a corner when you're playing a spot like that. So as we go into the 5th round, once again, the 4 spy, we got an RCP on the side of FIDA 8. Let's see. What are the attackers doing? It looks like, once again, we got a bottom bomb site, and we see 4 members of Team Rush over here on this garage side, working their way in. Looks like they're over here just trying to discuss what to do. Ash is going to work over towards this storage doorway. We got a drone coming in through Jazeel. Let's take a look at what the drone is seeing. It's going to spot Rarpa on the hallway. The ping's coming through. Looks like the drone doesn't track the vertical movement, so we're going to look at the ceiling here. The drone does drop, but Salty Raccoon already getting the damage, finding the first kill on the staircase. Now they know about FIDA's position, and Salty Raccoon is going to be able to drop FIDA as well. Thriller finds Easy Weezy, and we're once again in a 2v5 situation. Adrian and Virus with it all to do. Adrian manages to find Rip Red there in the storage room. Hatches are getting blown. Flashes coming in. A lot of pressure coming down. He holds his composure, but it's just not enough. And now all down to Mr. Virus. Whoop, wrong button here. Kind of a cool shot there. He drops on the hatch, tries to get a quick flank, but Ash is so ready for it. Not sure if there was an audio cue there, but absolutely dominant performance once again from Rush. 3 members left alive. They've got all the money in the world, and it's going to be tough. You'd like to see PVL get this first round on the board here going into the last round, but I don't think they're going to have a lot of money.
And I think that's that's exactly the issue. They can force into it. We do see Virus is going to be able to pick up a Vezin. But beyond that, they're stuck on SMGs again, just trying to get what utility they can. And being the sole Vezin, I mean, it is nice to see it on Virus. He is, you know, trying hard for his team. He's pretty much been good for 1 every round, but he's been in these positions where it's very easy to trade him out. And after he gets the kill, he's in a difficult position to hold and hard for his teammates to follow up as well, especially when they're only using SMGs to try and support him. And we do see, as far as the side of Rush, you know, everyone's just kind of firing on all cylinders right now. You know, Giselle 7-2, Rip Red and Ash both picking up kills. Ash being so diligent on making sure these flanks are getting 0 value, which is huge for Rush. And when you're attacking, when a flank can mean the end of the round for you.
Absolutely. So we're going into this final round here. We see the final stand of PVL on defense here on Hideout. Let's see if they can finally get their first round on the board. EMP, it looks like, again, we're going to see a heavy stack over towards the garage side. The drone coming through from Jazeel. Door blocker gets breaking. Looks like the drone goes down. Rip Red is in on the laundry, taking some damage through the wall. The wall goes down. Rip Red manages to find Riarpa in the connector, but Adrian manages to trade it out. We got Ash now working in, taking up that position. FIDA just around the corner. Ash manages to drop Adrian, and he finds FIDA. A nice little double from Ash here. Now the B bomb site is theirs. It looks like they once again want to get the plant for that hatch play from down below. And it's all down to Virus coming in through the garage side. He's going to find the first one. And Thriller manages to drop him. We're going to see a clean sweep here on the first half from Team Rush. Dominant performance.
Again, I think a lot of this, we're seeing a lot more experience for the side of Rush, and that's what we mentioned. I know Nightfire mentioned it in all of the games he's cast. Is the beginning of this is we're going to be seeing and kind of sorting the teams into which teams are more experienced and which teams are a little bit less experienced. And right now, it's just showing that Rush is the more experienced team. They have site executes. They have plans on what to do when they win the rounds. And I mean, from round 2 on, they had a Vezin every single round, which makes it very difficult when you're fighting SMGs, because you're fighting an uphill battle and you aren't giving yourself any time to breathe. I really think if PVL can just take a round here where they could potentially lose a round and then save, but it's kind of too late for that. You're up 6-0 and now you just have to force. You have to keep forcing it out until you either win or lose. You can either make the draw or lose. And hopefully we'll be able to see them pick up some rounds now that we do have the site swap here and we're jumping in with Rush defending.
Absolutely. That's all you can do. Just stay focused, shake it off. Don't worry too much about the scoreline. Just try to get some momentum going into either the second half or even going into the next map, you know? Just put some rounds on the board. Show them you came here to play. Stay focused. Never give up at any cost. Strong mental game. Very important. So we're going to see a bit of a spread out setup. You got... what was that? Riarpa way over on the garage side. 2 members here busting the hatch on the ceiling and 2 members working their way in through the front door. Let's follow the action over here. Let's maybe see a breach come through as Virus and Fita 8 pop in both of these doors. The hatch is blown. Rush seem wise to it though. They're playing pretty safe, pretty solid. 2 members here on A. Got 2 members here on B and 1 member here behind the crate watching the back hallway in Salty Raccoon. So very disciplined, strong play from them so far. We got EMP in the hands of Adrian out here. They are going to vault in. They're taking this full lobby side. It looks like A is going to be the crunch, and the first fight comes in. Ash finds Mr. Virus here on the A bomb site. Flash comes through. Looks like they're still going to push Ash down to 23 points of health. Federer pushes in. Thriller there to back up his teammate. Salty Raccoon finds Easy Weezy on the back hall. And now it's Adrian and Riarpa left in a 2v5 situation with it all to do. EMP in hand. Adrian does still want to push in on this A bomb site. Let's go on board with him as he does get a lot of damage. Jay-Zeal's going to push forward with the full health and drop Adrian, though. Such great coordination from this team Rush. And now it's all going to be down to Riarpa working his way up the main staircase. Should know that Salty Raccoon is in the last hallway because Raccoon did drop Easy Weezy, but the positioning on that proxy sensor is going to give him away so early. Now the whole team is going to come crashing down on this position. I'm sure of it. Based on the coordination I saw on that A bomb site, you have to know, and he seems to be aware. Checking the left side, you know, like when you're crossing the street, kids. Got to look both ways. Looking towards the crate. Salty Raccoon playing disciplined. Keeping his head down. Is he going to find the timing? He does pop up. I don't know if Riarpa saw his head there. I think he turned away just a bit too early, but I think Raccoon may have spotted him out. And there it is, Raccoon with the headshot. Gonna seal the deal. It's going to be a 7-0 sweep from the way of PURO VATO LOCO. And they are going to take it. I think I forgot to do the side swap there, but PURO VATO LOCO going to take map 1.
Actually,
I'm sorry, it was a
Rush.
Rush.
Map 1.
Yes, Rush. Very dominant performance from Rush, of course. And brutal. So that is on the right score, right? Yeah, 7-0 by the way of Rush. Sorry, new assets, new streamer, new caster. Give me some slack. It's my first time. We're doing good. But a really dominant performance. Hideout, absolutely brutal. What do you got to take away from that, Rip?
Honestly, the biggest takeaways I had was the fact that PVL, they didn't want to save. They were so committed to buying the SMGs. I mean, I played with someone just in my pubs today. I was playing a bit. He's like, RCP is the best gun, and it was the best gun for him. But when everyone else had Vezins in their hands, it's still a difficult gun to use when they just have the one-tap ability, and that's something you don't have. I feel like the RCP is a gun, or a lot of the SMGs are guns you can go for if you're wanting to body shot someone, just because they do have a very high fire rate, and you can kind of body shot burst them down. So if you're not super confident in your aim, I would recommend picking up as an SMG, or if you're planning on learning the game. But if you're planning on playing competitively, you really need to, focus on those aim training, getting really good with the Vezin, and that's something where we saw Rush was just so confident as they stormed the site. They rushed in. Every single round was almost blind aggression, but it was coordinated blind aggression. Anytime a member of Rush dropped, there was always someone there to trade it out instantly, making it hard for PVL to even gain a foothold, because as soon as they get one member, and they might be in a 5v4, it gets traded instantly, and now they're in a 4v4, and they're still down the gun advantage.
Absolutely, very dominant performance, and we are going to be hopping right into round 2 here, and it's going to be on Skyscraper. Rush going to be starting on defense. Now, as we may not know, we may have some new viewers in the chat. Skyscraper, a notoriously defensive-sided map. So the Revolters here setting up the defense, tend to have the advantage. And with Rush showing such a dominant performance and getting to start here on defense, it's going to be a tall order for PURO, VATO, LOCO. So let me get this swap right. Swap teams here. We got Rush on the defender side. Got that right. And yeah, so let's see. What do we got for a defensive setup here? I don't see any door blockers. Ping spam coming out. I'm sure they're feeling pretty good coming off of that first map. Got a trip mine over here towards the B bomb site. I hear a static somewhere, but I don't see it. Oh, it's behind the destructible wall here. All right, and yeah, so you're already seeing the effect of this Cyclone nerf from today's patch coming into effect. We got 2 Jespers, 2 Spectrals, and 1 Cyclone on the hands of Giselle. On the other hand, we got 2 Cyclones, 2 Spectrals. I think you're going to start seeing a lot more Spectrals now coming out since this patch. So we got EMP on the back of Easy Way, the IGL, or PURO, VATO, LOCO. Adrian going to vault in. Looks like the pings came out on this breakable wall. I think Salty Raccoon heard the audio cue there, made the comms. Virus working his way down this hallway, sneaking nice and quietly. Probably hears the static charge. Is he going to find the trip? The first fight coming out. Salty Raccoon looks like he was spotted. Rip Red's going to find Virus. So that sneaky play on the hallway not working out for him. And looks like the play is going to be towards this B side. Nice and paced. RIARPA has the foam in hand. Foaming up the wall. Shots come through. Salty Raccoon. Push comes in. Adrian manages to drop, but Giselle is hiding in the corner. Manages to get the trade. Ash finding Easy Wheezy. Giselle in the fight with the Cyclone, managing to drop FIDA and RIARPA. Looks like that Cyclone nerf is not affecting JJ Zeal one bit. And Rush are off to, once again, a solid start here on map 2.
And Giselle picking up a very nice 3K. I was a little interested. PVL was funneling, and one of the reasons this map is so defender-sided is because there's very easy choke points to hold as a defender. The stairs being one of the primary points of entry, especially if you're beginning. You know, it's the easiest way to think, oh, I can get in through the stairs. Navigating all the floors through the stairs, and those are pretty much death tunnels as you walk through them, where it's very difficult to try and force your way down through those stairs and through those various choke points. Now, PVL, they were able to make it all the way down the stairs. They were able to make it down onto the site. I liked how they were pushing through the windows as well. Ultimately, the shots, even though they were able to get the kills, they were able to get one, again, was traded out instantly in JJ Zell, ended up being supported by Ash perfectly. I'm not sure if you saw, Ash ended up swinging from the connector from A site and making sure Giselle was safe while they could reload, which is one of the negative impacts of the Cyclone having a lower magazine size, but they were able to coordinate perfectly and play very good team coordination there.
Yeah, I do think Ash swinging was right behind my shoddy camera work. We'll improve with that as time goes on. And once again, another dominant economic situation, and PVL are going to fall into the trap of force buying up. I mean, it could work if you have a set piece and you want to take this round, but 3 Vezins over on the side of Rush. Only 2 syringes, though. So for those of you who are new to the game and don't know, they limit how many healing syringes you can buy per team to 2. However, they do not limit how many you can pick up off of dead bodies. So after the first round, if you pick up 2 extra on top of the 2 that your team can buy, you can go into the second round with up to 4 syringes, and beyond that you can go up to 6 and 8 respectively. So as the later rounds go on, you can even see a syringe in the hands of every player on either team, as long as they have survived with enough people to carry those syringes over to the next round. Look like a little bit of a weak nade toss, but it is going to clear out the door blocker. So we got 4 members, 4 Team PURO, VATO, LOCO working up the staircase here, and 3 members of Rush prepared to meet them on the other side. Counter nade comes in, finds just a little bit of chip damage, and I didn't even see the roam from Raccoon over here on the left side, and that is going to be a really brutal crossfire for them. And they look like they may be backing up these stairs as Raccoon actually decides to rotate around to the other side. So let's go on board with FIDA 8A over here. Feed, I'm just going to call him Fed. What do you think, Rip? Give me some help here.
I'm down with Fed. I think Fed's in. We are going to see a gunfight coming out. Salty Raccoon's able to pick up another, though. So really making it very difficult. And that's the other thing. Skyscraper is a longer range map. You have really long range hallways, which puts your SMGs at a further disadvantage.
And this crossfire turning out to be extremely brutal. The range of the Vezins definitely showing their muster there, and Rush survive with 4 people remaining. And you see they now have 3 syringes on their side. The number increases. And what do you think PURO, VATO, LOCO need to do to get back into this map here? besides saving.
I'm still pretty adamant about saving. I think if they refuse to save, then they need to try and work some closer ranged angles. They can't be contesting these long hallways. They're going to need to try and go for potentially the A wall, where they can just vault in through the window, get the A wall, and then potentially push on with SMGs and force these closer ranged fights, because the long range fight of the Vezin, for one, it's got more bullets and it's got less recoil than an SMG, and it does more damage at long range. So all of those things put together mean you're at a significant disadvantage, because even if it's going to be harder for you to hit your shots, you have less bullets to hit your shots with, and your shots do less damage. So that is a massive disadvantage, and I would really like to see if they want to force these SMGs to try and force these closer range fights to give themselves some kind of an edge.
Absolutely. So let's see what they can do as far as adapting. You also got to take into consideration they are aware that they're being casted. Maybe a little bit of extra pressure coming out, knowing that there are some spectators to this match. A little bit extra hype as we go on board with VATO and Mr. Virus over here. 3 members of Team PURO VATO LOCO. Over on the other side, looks like Easy Weezy carrying that EMP, the IGL for his team. Taking the charge. They're going to work on breaking this door blocker here on the backside. We got Riarpa alone out here. He's going to come in with that Viper. So we got a 3-man push over towards B and 2 people over towards the A. I wonder if we're going to see something like rush coordinated on hideout, where it looks like a B hit, but then they end up crunching towards the A. That was such a beautiful play. Oh, Raccoon is going to come down the stairs and just find all 3 members of PURO VATO LOCO, and I just missed it with the camera. Come on, Philibus. What are you doing? Let's go on board with VATO and Mr. Virus, as they are the last 2 remaining members of PVL. And just stuck in this lounge between a rock and a hard place. You got 5 members of Team Rush with Vezins. They are next to that A wall. Like you said, maybe they'll use the short range to their advantage. A lot of damage coming into Raccoon, down to 4 points of health. Now just Virus. Think he spotted maybe he didn't see the gun there. Nade comes out. I could have sworn he saw his gun right there. Holding this angle. Decides to get aggressive, but can't go through that door blocker unless you're on the Revolter side. Gonna have to break that. Wall spam coming through. And this is where Virus chooses to make his stand. Giselle walks right by him. He gets the first one. Down to a 1v4 and stuck between a rock and a hard place. Virus goes down. And that's going to bring them up 3-0 as I update the score here.
And a little interesting there. Oh, I'm actually very surprised he didn't see the gun barrel. I thought he was staring right at it and he was just going to get swung and pre-fired. But that didn't end up happening. He ended up just running away, and the timing was very, very awkward there. But another thing, I just really want. I mean, it doesn't look like we're gonna see a save from PVL, and you can make SMGs work, but it's gonna be a lot more team coordination. There, we saw the biggest issue when they were pushing in through that hallway is no one was holding the stairs. They were all kind of looking either nowhere or in the same direction, but no one was really actively focused and holding a specific angle. When you're pushing through a hallway with multiple people, you want each person holding somewhere different. So that way, if you do get swung, you have teammates who can back you up, try to trade out instantly, or potentially, stop the threat before it becomes a problem. And no one was holding the stairs. No one was aware of Salty Raccoon's position, and it just gave them a very nice 3-piece.
Absolutely. So as we go back on board, Rush continuing. This is a 10-round sweep from them, not giving up a single round so far. And we got a top floor bomb spawn. Let's see what PURO VATO LOCO bring to the table this round. Going on board with them. Let's take a look at the syringe count. You got 4 members now. The number slowly increasing of number of syringes on the side of Team Rush. And VATO and Riarpa slowly working their way down this staircase. Trying to see if I can improve my camera work here and catch some of the action for you guys.
Shots fired here in the servers as Salty Raccoon is going to go down to half HP. And it's just going to continue waiting on this lurk. It doesn't seem like he is going to heal up a bit as well on that lurk out in the broadcast and servers room.
Proximity sensor going out the way the position of Riarpa and VATO. They are going to continue on. Oh, I didn't even see Rip Red hiding over in the corner here. What a cheeky spot from him. Spotted out, and Fida still not able to drop him. Rip Red getting a two-piece right there. A little 1-2 punch from him. And now Virus trying to build up the nerve to charge into this screen room, knowing that there's an angry Rip Red hiding on the other side. Cheeky little angle from him. Finally crosses over. Working his way into the screen room here. Shot fired on the backward. Rip Red getting his third for the round. And it's going to come down to Adrian and Easy Way as we go on board. Salty Raccoon with the self-nade. What happened there? Easy Way in a 1v4 finds the first. We'll have to go to the analyst desk after that to see what happens. Looks like he's going to pick up the Vezin and upgrade from that Oral. Taking shots from the back. He gets around the corner safely. 1v3. Minute left on the clock. What happened with that self-nade? Was just a botched nade?
Was a little bit of a botched nade. Let's look. We're gonna see a firefight here in the hallway though, and JJZL's gonna take it. So what happened there? We actually had Salty Raccoon taking a very early engagement from PVL as they actually committed 2 people to kind of try and clear out a lurk. Took some damage, and he ends up fighting everyone there on the lurk, and his nade just bounced wrong, bounced backwards. Wasn't thrown hard enough, and just ends up taking him out, which was highly unfortunate for Rush there. But his teammates were still able to clutch up, make sure they aren't dropping any rounds still. PVL does look like they do have some money this round. I want to see some Vezins bought. We see, you know, Fida here with 3,400, Virus with 4,100. Doesn't look like anyone else will be able to buy a Vezin. And Fida looks more comfortable trying to buy that Omen, which is, it's an interesting buy here. Making sure they're able to buy the next round, but half buying every round is, again, it's just going to put you at that disadvantage. I think that's something where as a team, they're probably going to want to watch back, and that's something that as they learn and grow, they'll be able to see, okay, you know, this is something that we could work on, potentially buy the more effective guns and a little bit of team coordination if we're going to be down guns, because they were able to make the coordination work to kill Salty Raccoon, even though he did ultimately kill himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And despite killing himself, still with a 9-kill scoreline here, top fragging for his team. So botch nade aside, a very dominant performance from Salty Raccoon. I kind of forgot to be checking the scoreboard in that first map. Bit of a caster error there. And you got 2 members dancing around this lounge, just leaving that proxy sensor up, maybe trying to bait a little bit of aggression out from Rush. But we got 2 members of PURO VATO LOCO, 3 members sweeping in from the back side of the lounge. And the defense on the side of Rush, a little bit more spread out this round. You got Salty and Thriller here on the A-bomb site. Oh, what a nade from Raccoon under the door blocker. Counter nade finds 2, and an immediate man disadvantage for PVL. Now the 3 remaining members. You got 1 back here in the lounge and 2 over on this other side as I'm missing the action. Riarpa also taking a bunch of damage. We try to take the fight with Jazeel, but the nade again. Solid nades coming out from the way of Team Rush. And it's all down to Adrian. 1v5, Omen in hand. It does look, however, like they saved up some money this round. They've got some money in the bank going into this last round. So perhaps we will be able to see a full buy coming out from PVL. And that is some signs of life. That's what you want to see. Just lurking up on this top rafter. Hoping to punish some over-aggression. Minute 21 left on the clock. He's got plenty of time to work with.
I think his biggest issue here is he doesn't have the EMP, and we see 3 Rush members clearing the direction from the EMP, so they are eventually going to find him and run into him, and they're moving as a unit here. We see Rip Red and Ash moving together. Now, Adrian is going to hear those audio cues, is going to hear the footsteps right below him. And he finds the kill onto Ash.
Position given away now. 1 versus 4 remaining. Would have to be the ace clutch here for Adrian to put his team on the map, but Rip Red is going to shut him down, and that's going to be 5-0 going into this last round for Team Rush.
Now, like you mentioned, they did save some money, so hopefully we'll be seeing some Vezins bought this round. I really want to see 5 men with 5 Vezins moving into this last round. try and put something together. We do see Adrian picking up a gun. Now, I really liked how Adrian played that as soon as he heard the footsteps. He played in a position where you can't really trade him unless there's someone already on the stairs behind you, because he can duck out so easily from that little catwalk balcony by the rails. You know, gets the kill, ducks out, and he is aware there's another one behind him as the sound cues were going off. Rip Red did make some sound cues. Ultimately, though, Rip Red finds the kill. But I do like how it does seem like we are seeing some adaptation here on the side of PVL. They are, you know, cognizant of what's going on. They're trying to make some changes to their play style. They're making some changes and trying to react, which is exactly what you want to see. And I think they have a lot of potential as a team if they continue making these kind of reactive plays as opposed to just kind of playing the game on autopilot.
Absolutely. That is exactly what you want to see. And a note for anybody here watching, if you're a newer player, if you're getting absolutely smacked in a game, take it as a learning opportunity, as Rip Red with the Knut finding the first opening pick on the Adrian here on this A bomb site window. And now Virus, maybe afraid to peek into that, does manage to find Salty Raccoon, but he's still got the Knut to deal with. As Riara and Wheezy working on the other side, a little bit of aggression as Rip Red tries to blind fire around the corner. Thriller, oh, he does get shot in the hand. And we're going to see the vault out from Jazeel. Finds one. Ash vaults out and turns around and finds Riarpa. And now it's all down to Fida, as he was the one on the lurk on that back hallway in a 1v3 situation. Going to run around into the bathroom here. Looking towards that. He's got the static to go through. Jazeel gets aggressive and gets punished for it. Now 1v2 and Ash gets aggressive. Not ready for the second peek from Ash. And that is going to be a 6-0. Another flawless half coming out, by the way, of Rush on the first half here in Skyscraper.
I think, he was very aggressive to reload. I am a little disappointed by how long it took Virus to turn around. I think that kill was in his hands. He definitely could have landed those shots, but it just took him a little too long to react to someone vaulting out the window behind him. You know, when you see enemy outside, you need to be looking, okay, where could they vault out from? And here, you know, they can either vault out from the A bomb site or through the B bomb site or toilets. And toilets is going to be very far away, and the B-bomb site's going to be a lot closer, so that's immediately where you want to look. Where the potential threat could be, isn't able to look that way and ends up actually dying. We did see early kills with a Knut as well, which was kind of interesting, but ultimately it is going to fall over to the side of Rush again. But we now do have PVL is going to be here defending. And like we mentioned, this is a defender-sided map. Not only is it a defender-sided map, but it has a lot of angles where you can rat in these corners and potentially make better use of an SMG if you can just force a close-range fight by holding tight angles.
Absolutely. So we're going on board here with 3 members of Rush instantly working down into this vent side on the opposite side of the map, getting inside the building clean and quiet, and crouching their way through. Wheezy in a nice spot. Does manage to find the first on Jazeel, but Rip Red instantly trades it out. He's going to pick up that EMP. Rip Red, the IGL for this team, looks like he is going to lead the charge. Lead from the front, as I say. You don't want to bark orders from the back. You want to lead by example from the front for your team. That's how I like to do it. We got Riarpa sitting in the corner of this lounge behind the chair. Both Ash and Rip Red over here. 2 remaining members of Team Rush way over on the opposite side of the map. Looks like the engagements could come out at both times. We're going to go on board with the EMP here. They work their way quietly down the stairs. Riapa ready for this. The Jesper shots come out, finds a little bit of damage, but Ash finds the headshot. Headshot multiplier is king in this game, and now Salty Raccoon and Thriller trying to work their way in past this static as Ash comes to meet them. You've got Rip Red with the EMP all by himself over here. Looks like he wants to foam up the wall. Virus does manage to find one, and oh, Adrian dropping Rip Red. So the EMP is down. I'm not sure if he's aware of it. And we are going to go on board. Where is Salty Raccoon right now? And Thriller, both of them in the lounge. Finally, you're seeing a man advantage, possibly for the first time in this series from PVL. So you'd like to see them be able to close this out and put their first round on the board. And like we said, defending side Skyscraper, if they could put the pistol round, invest heavily into the second round, they could start to see them string a few rounds together, and then who knows? We might be in for a hell of a comeback. Perhaps the nerves wear off a little bit and they find their rhythm. But still have to get through Salty Raccoon and Thriller. No slouch. 11 kills, 3 deaths on the way of Salty Raccoon. So not going to be easy. He's not going to make it easy on him. as he pumps some rounds into this door blocker. Not a lot of ammo to work with on that Vezin. Looks like maybe a little bit of a connection issue there. Are going to see the aggressive play by Virus, dropping out the window, trying to get a two-key flank, but it doesn't pay off. Flash comes in, a little bit of a T-flash. Adrian is going to take advantage. Now it's all down to Salty Raccoon in a 1v2. Federa's position was pinged out, but it looks like he rotated over to that left side. And with a little bit of this connection issue, I wonder if that's going to come into play. 50 damage coming out from Federa, and only 3 bullets left in his gun. Raccoon has no ammo left. He has to go back and pick up the Spectral. Wrapping around, going for the EMP now. It doesn't look like the EMP was pinged out. Ball is already foamed up. 5 seconds left on the clock. He doesn't have time. He's got to work through the static. He's not going to have time. And that's going to be the first round going to the way of PVL. They get their first on the board. You love to see it.
That is exactly what you want to see from PVL. I think Virus had a fantastic lurk there on the stairs, played very quiet, chose a good time to swing, even though he gets traded out right away. This is huge here that they were able to get one before they died. I think when you're defending, in my humble opinion, having equal numbers is advantageous for the defender because they're forced to come to you. And so you're going to know where they're at a little bit easier, where they're going to have more space to clear. So if you are even as defending, I think you're in a little bit better position, unless, of course, they know exactly where you are. Then if whoever knows where you are is going to be at the advantage. But in defending, for the most part, 5v5, starting off, defense is going to have a little bit of an advantage. 4v4, a little bit of an advantage for the side of the defense. And they were able to keep the numbers game, trading it down until they eventually were at a positive man advantage and able to close out the round, playing very nicely with the crossfire there between, I believe it was Fida and Adrian there at the very end, playing a very nice crossfire to make sure they weren't giving anything.
Absolutely. So coming into the 8th round of the game, VPL are heavily investing into this round like I thought they would. 2 Cadillos, 1 Oral, and 2 Omens. And you are seeing an Omen buy from Salty Raccoon, a little bit of an investment on the side of Rush. Perhaps a little bit surprised that they didn't decide to save here. But they did save on 3 members, so they're going to have probably 3 Vezins going into the next round. We are seeing them work down the stairs on this vent side again. Looks like they're going for a bit of a hatch play here. And we have a roamer from Virus. Is he going to be in position to punish this hatch player, catch them off guard? Let's see how Virus is going to choose to play this once the call comes out that the hatch gets blown. But we got a little bit of aggression from Salty Raccoon and Jazeel. The hatch is going to get blown and the wall at the same time. Bit of a crunch onto this A-bomb site, not to mention Thriller working his way around the outside window. A lot of angles, a lot of holes punched in as that nade does a lot of damage on the JJ Zell. Got Riarpa, Fazira, and Adrian. 3 members. The drop comes in behind the flash. A lot of damage on the Rip Raid. He finally gets finished off by Adrian, but Ash finds... Oh, man, the frags are just flying back left and right. Wheezy coming through the connector. Not going to be able to see Thriller. He manages to drop both of them, but traded out by Salty Raccoon. It's a 1v1 situation as Raccoon's position is called out. I don't think he realizes that Virus was lurking upstairs, but Virus is going to have to drop... Oh, the EMP is down below the hatch, and Virus is going to catch him going for the EMP. Perfect position, and PVL find their 2nd round. A little bit of momentum. This is exactly what you want to see.
This is exactly what you want to see now. Now, this is the question. Are they going to be able to continue this momentum as Rush is going to have the Vezins? So we are going to be able to see, Virus, I'd love to see him drop a weapon for his team because they are on their last round. This is really their last life, last chance where they need to try and keep this advantage, keep the momentum rolling. I think Virus played absolutely fantastic there. You already know, as soon as he sees the EMP, he's calling out to his team, hey, I've got EMP below the hatch. They have no clue I'm here. I'm just going to hold this. And it ends up paying the dividends as well as he's able to clean up that round 2-6 on the board. And we are seeing a little bit of a comeback. And I like how, as far as PVL, they're all very even as far as their KDs. They're all very even, playing together as a unit on this defensive half. They are playing like a team here. And that teamwork is hopefully what will allow them to bring this up to a draw.
Yeah, absolutely. As I stop, I got a little bit of a scratch in my throat. Should probably have waited until the cameras weren't on to take a swig of my sweet tea, but Salty Raccoon with a dominant performance here. 13-4. Rip Red, all the team backing him up well. And yeah, like you said, even performance from PVL. No massive underperformances on either side. And you'd like to see this momentum keep moving. Take it away into this 9th round for me.
exactly what we want to see, and we do see. I really like here what they are doing. It does look like they do have Virus again is going to be that lurk, which is good because he's getting a lot of values on these lurks. And everyone else is kind of got their SMGs. They're holding their angles, and they're playing exactly how they should if they have a closer ranged weapon, which we see some of them do, especially towards the A bomb site, which looks like it could be where they're gearing up, is looking more towards that A bomb site, potentially going through radio here. Is Giselle is going to be the point of the spear jiggling around.
I absolutely see Giselle working his way over towards this radio side. This little computer radio broadcast room. The team 3 members now piling in behind this door blocker. The ping comes out on the wall. Looks like they want the foam towards the A wall. And who has the foam? It is Thriller. Where is Thriller? I don't see him over here. Looks like they're just gonna... There comes Salty Raccoon, also has the foam. So they break the door blocker and the foam at the same time. The shots come firing through. Virus finds one. Easy gets dropped by Giselle, though. They're trading back and forth. Rip Red finding Fida. Now a man advantage going the way of Rush as Riarpa gets dropped through the connector, trying to rotate through. And Virus gets picked up on the backside, trying to flank. Now it all comes down to Adrian as I mix up my keybinds once again. Adrian now in a 1v4 finds the first onto Thriller. Now his position pinged out as the EMP gets planted. That's going to be, I believe, 45 seconds left for him to make something happen. Spotted out by Raccoon. Looks like he's going for it with the Taurus. The Taurus not going to work out for him. Gets dropped by the Omen here. Now Adrian does not have a syringe in hand. 1v2. 43 points of health remaining. Goes for a bit of a blind fire. Trying to draw out a bit of aggression. Rush not giving up anything. They want to seal the deal right here. Every round counts here in VRML. We're going to play all 3 maps out, and every round you give up counts against your ELO, and Adrian is not going to be able to get it done here. As you see, Rush are going to take the second map. Let's catch the replay there.
And again, like you mentioned, every round counts. So the fact that, PVL, they're able, PURO, VATO, LOCO, they're able to pick up 2 rounds, which is, if you're a team and you're fighting, again, the matchmaking, it's kind of random seeding right now because we're trying to figure out which teams are more experienced, which teams have more time playing together, and which teams are a bit newer or are newer to the game. And so being able to pick up 2 rounds, that's still going to put them in a better position in future games as far as teams they're going to be playing in the future. Hopefully as we get into, second, third weeks, as we get further and deeper into the VRML season, we're going to be seeing really close games, which is exactly what we want. We want to be seeing some really intense matchups, and here we still have very intense moments, which makes me think PVL is going to have a lot of potential here, especially as we're coming here onto this third map. Now, third map being Factory a little bit. Factory has been the only map that was released since Alpha, so veteran players who have been playing since Alpha know this map very well, which already gives, if you've been playing for a very long time, map knowledge is huge in this game, and so having a lot of map knowledge, playing this map since Alpha, will give you an advantage. So we'll need to see what PVL can come up with here to try and keep a confident and good sight hold and try to pick up some rounds, turn some momentum in their favor, and see what they can do here against Rush.
Absolutely. Did see some signs of life of them coming into that second map. So although the series is going to be going the way of Rush, here in VRML, we do play all 3 maps, as I was just trying to explain. All the rounds that you get from all 3 maps are going to count towards your ELO. And the more rounds you win versus how many rounds you give up are going to affect how quickly you advance up or drop down in rank, as it looks like Virus here in a perfect position. Heard a little bit of an audio cue, but 3 members going to be vaulting it all around him. He doesn't know who to shoot at. Finds a bunch of damage onto Thriller. I don't actually think any members of Team Rush bought any syringes for this pistol round. You're going to see 3 Spectrals bought out, 1 Cyclone, and a lot of util. We've got some breaching foam, but they're not going to be able to heal Thriller up. So the damage is done, but a 5v4 man advantage. I'm sure they're going to be happy with that trade, as it looks like all 5 members of Team Rush over here on this warehouse side. They're going to foam up the wall. And the defense here, Riarpa and Fida in this saw room, ready to put up a defense. Looks like Fida is going to rotate back through the connector. Ash leading the charge with the EMP in hand. Going to drop that electrostatic field emitter. And the fight's going to come in as he gets caught in the crossfire. Easy Way finds JJ Zell on the background as well. Thriller. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're down to a 3v3 situation as Rip Red down to 4 points of health. Thriller down to 32 points of health and no syringes between the teams. So a really good position for PVL to get started on his third map.
A very, very nice position here for PVL. And not only that, Easy Weezy able to pick up the heal as well, get back up to full HP, and finds another kill. Fida finding Rip Red, and now we're in a 1v3 situation. Will Salty Raccoon be able to pull it out with the laser sight as well on that Spectre?
Yeah, full health coming in. Fight coming in with Adrian. Manages to find the first. Drop down now to 20 points of health. Position revealed to the enemy, and that laser pointer working out so far. You don't see a lot of lasers here used in competitive play, as they do give away your position. That third person laser perspective, very visible here in Breachers. Unlike a lot of other games, and perhaps in real life, where that laser beam is maybe not quite so easy to see. But here in Breachers, your position is given away, as these lasers are powerful. So he is going to work his way back through the electrical side. Going to run into this door blocker. Doesn't have breaching foam in hand, so just a spectral to his name. 20 points of health remaining. And 2 hungry members of PVL looking to keep this momentum going here into this third map. It's going to be a tough ask for Salty Raccoon to pull this round out of the bag. 35 seconds left on the clock. Deciding
Does
to...
look like,
Go ahead.
it does look like he's going to rotate back around here. I mean, he's got time against him. He doesn't have EMP, and so far everything's blocked off. So he's going to be swinging straight into Easy Weezy and Fida.
Yep, as time runs out, he has to get aggressive. Doesn't really have much choice there. And yeah, having to go loud and proud, and the 2 members of Fida caught in the crossfire. Fida taking him out in that connector room. And that's going to be the first round going the way of PVL. So a first map lead for PVL coming out here. You definitely like to see them putting some rounds on the board.
Yeah, we saw a lot of really good things there from PVL as far as the crossfires they were setting up. They were able to win their gunfight, swing together as defenders, which can sometimes be harder to do, because if you're scared, you're down rounds, you're nervous at all, it's a lot safer to just hide in your corner and wait for them to swing you. And so, oh, my camera there going absolutely wonky. Let me just try and refocus that. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. That was terrifying. I'm sorry you guys had to see that. Absolutely terrifying moment there. Scared me a little bit too. I glanced over and I was like, what just happened? But nope, I am not that ugly. My camera's just out of focus. We're pretty close though. But we are going to see PVL here picking up that first round again. Absolutely massive. One thing I love about Breachers and the VR scene, you could actually see from a third point of view Salty Raccoon when he ran into that door blocker, a little upset about it. He wasn't expecting it to be there, and you can tell by his body language, which is just fantastic that you can see that in VR.
Yep, throwing the hands up in the air, doing the gestures. VR, there really is nothing else like it out there, and that's why I think most of us are here, because we absolutely love VR esports. That's what we're here for. So we got 3 members of Team Rush over towards this blue staircase side, and we are going to see perhaps a little bit more of the experience coming through. Most of the members of Team Rush saving into the second round now that they've lost, and perhaps taking a page out of Rush's book, as PVL also saves as Easy Weezy gets dropped by Salty Raccoon. And the crunch looks like it's coming in quick onto this A bomb site. They blow the vending machine wall. 3 members, it looks like they played through the hatch. Ash is going to drop Riarpa in the lab room. He looks like he still wants to get aggressive. Fida trying to hold the bomb site down. He's got Adrian here to back him up, but not able to get the trade. It's all down to Adrian in a 1v5 situation, and a completely flawless round from Rush comes out as they just decimated PVL that round, really stuffing the momentum as soon as it started.
I think that's exactly what Rush wanted to do. They don't want to let this get away from them, because on the flip side, PVL is still fighting with everything they have for these rounds, because in the end, it's their rank. Like, it's still going to affect it, even though they might have lost the series. Every round that they get from this point is still going to put them in a higher rating as the season progresses, right? And so Rush, on the flip side, the more rounds they drop, are going to be placed in a lower rating. So, I think we saw the laser sight on the Spectral. We saw a couple things, and they lost the round, and might have spooked them a little bit. And now it seems like they paid a little bit of respect to PVL by going back to their full-on Rush strat. So hopefully we'll be able to see PVL have a little bit of strategy, some potential here to kind of try and slow that momentum, slow down a really hard rushing strategy that Rush has been known for. I mean, it's even in their name. I should have known that without even knowing the team, that they were just gonna rush.
Absolutely. Team Rush staying true to their name, no doubt. As we go into this third round, tied up 1-1. And yeah, though interesting, PVL changing it up and saving, even though they won the pistol round, choosing to save going into that second round, perhaps not feeling the pressure. So they're going to be able to buy up into a Vezin, a Cadillo, a couple of Orals, and one Cyclone on the hands of Adrian. So despite losing that second round, the economic damage, excuse me, wasn't quite as bad as you might think, because they didn't fully invest into that second round. Perhaps a debatable strategy. The economic meta still being worked out. I was just having this discussion with our team about how I am planning a completely new buy strategy for the team, and I think you're going to start to see some new buy strategies come out as, oh, Easy Weezy just caught behind that destructible wall. Ash managing to drop him in a 4v5 situation. PVL off to a rough start. You got 3 members here on this museum side. JJ Zell finds Riarpa over on the orange staircase side. There's a complete pinch onto these 2 bomb sites as the Team Rush is completely spread, but coordinating it. JJ Zell does get traded, but Raccoon manages to trade Fed back out. We're down to a 2v3. Let's go on board with Virus and Adrian as they try to hold this down. Adrian with nothing but a Cyclone. Gonna see Connector popping through. See Ash popping through the connector, excuse me, and now it's all down to Virus in a 1v4. Does have that Vezin in hand, but with 4 Vezins in the side of Team Rush, it's going to be a tall ask. Don't think they're aware of his position, so he is going to go quiet. Peeking through this war room. Once again, smart. I like this from Virus. When you're in a man disadvantage, if you're the last one in a clutch situation, the best way to open up the round, in my opinion, is to be patient. I mean, you can't be too patient because EMP is planted. You got to make a move. But a lot of times teams will get overconfident when they have you outnumbered, and they'll be over aggressive and push into you, but they're not going to do it this time, as Thriller just covering that EMP drops Mr. Virus, and Rush go up 2-1 here on Factory.
A very disciplined post plant there. We actually saw them setting up as well for a potential hatch play again, where you can blow the hatch from the floor below. We saw a player running around on the floor below, having that hatch play ready. And again, exactly what you want to do is play a little more patiently, a little more cautiously when you're at that man disadvantage. You want to play the fact that you could be anywhere and play that to your advantage, that if they get over aggressive hunting you, you can, turn that 3v1 or 4v1 into a 3v1, eventually into a 2v1, and a 2v1, you can hit a couple nice one taps and end the fight real quick and pick up the round for your team. Wasn't going to go that way though, as Rush were just very disciplined and played a very nice post plant, not wanting to get too aggressive there.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very solid play from Rush. You see the experience coming in. Not just with the buy strategy, but with the team coordination mid-round and their decision-making process. Like I said, the patience, when you have the man advantage, a common mistake you see a lot of teams make is getting over-aggressive and hunting down that last person and pushing right into them and giving them one-on-one fights and allowing them to even up the numbers. But Rush not falling for that trap and closing out the round nicely. So up 2-1 now, and once again PVL stuck on a save round, and they are going to save. So you just in this first match, I'm not sure if they have some insider information watching the stream or messaging them on Discord or what, but they have all of a sudden started working these save rounds into their economic strategy, and it's paying off. As Giselle finds the first one, traded out by Adrian here in the storage room. We got 2 more members from Rush piling into the storage room. Pre-fires coming through the wall, not quite finding any damage. You got 3 members in the bomb sites as Virus seems to be their dedicated lurker. Salty Raccoon manages to find Fida, but gets traded by the lurk with Virus, but he's exposed, and now Ash is going to drop him, and he's going to drop Adrian here on the A bomb site. That's going to be the A bomb site clean. It's all down to Riarpa with just a pistol in hand, and Ash is going to find him as well, and that's going to be a 3-1 going the way of Team Rush here on Factory.
And a nice, I believe that was a little 4-piece there for Ash as he was swinging through, making sure to kill everyone. I do really like what PVL's done to adapt here, though. I mean, they've shown tons of potential here as they, again, they saved that round. They were able to pick up some kills even and trade out their teammates. So all in all, great stuff from them, but Rush is just being so dominant. Their headshots are all landing. We're seeing pretty much nothing but headshots from the side of Rush. Ash in particular, I mean, the man is 8-1 right now. He is the mob boss to beat. I know PVL, they're like, okay, it's just, there's one guy. We just got to beat the one guy, and then we can win the round from there. As Ash has been, the last one alive, one making sure that the round isn't going to fall away from them. So, hopefully PVL, the hardest thing in this game is when you're down rounds is you start losing the mental game. If you lose the mental game, you're going to start spiraling, and that's what you never want to see. You never want to see a team spiral, because it just makes it really difficult not only to play this game but any series that follows. So if they can keep this mental strong, and I think that's exactly what they're doing a good job, is they're still giving it their all and bringing their A game.
Yeah, strong mental. Okay, as I just realized, I've completely been forgetting to keep up this new version of the package. Should be automated scores, but I was not able to get that update working. Easy way, or sorry, SA way, trying to get a little bit aggressive here in this bathroom and getting dropped immediately. So that's an unfortunate result there. Pushing fast into this war room. Rip Red dropped down to 21 points of health, but manages to find it. And Ash finds Riarpa, and now we're already down to a 2v5 situation. Looks like Virus here on the lurk is going to have to move in a little quicker than perhaps he wants to. And Adrian, looks like we have 2 roams. He's going to find the first one onto Thriller, bring it down to a 2v4, but still a tall ask on the side of PVL. Rush now. EMP planted. Looks like on that A bomb site. Get a look at exactly where that is planted. Looks like it's on the wall by the couch. So Virus working his way through the war room. Looks like Adrian still... as I go away at the worst time. Virus manages to find Rip Red, but traded out by Jazeel. Adrian still working down this orange staircase side. Giving away his position with a little bit of a spam through the wall. 1v3 though. Not a lot of time left. EMP is planted. Maybe a little bit of desperation with these shots through the wall, as he's just hoping to get a little bit lucky, and I think he is going to choose to save that weapon and rotate back around downstairs. And it's looking like we're going into a 4-1 scoreline heading into the last round here on Factory, round 1. What do you make of that round, Rip?
I mean, obviously, Rush is just being very, very dominant. I was happy to see that PVL was able to pick up some kills. I'm actually really happy to see the save there as well from Adrian. I think tactically and economically, it's really smart to not put yourself at such a disadvantage in the following round, when the likelihood of winning a 1v3 situation with 20-25 seconds left on the clock and the EMP is down. I mean, that's a really, really hard ask. He has a lot of space to clear, especially after he kind of committed, spraying through the wall, giving up his position. The entire team of Rush is going to know where you're at, and making it an even harder situation to try and retake that by yourself. So I think it was really smart of him to save that round. Hopefully though, what we need though is some value out of that save, because if he can bring some kills into this next round with that Vezin, he'll show why saving it was really the smart move, as opposed to trying to damage the economy of Rush by pushing in and trying to clutch out the round. So hopefully we'll be able to see something there with the Vezin coming through. We are going to see another force buy here, as we are on the last round. So you don't get to keep your money anymore. Make sure you spend it. And we are going to see a force buy here from PURO, VATO, LOCO, as a couple syringes coming through. It does look like they have some trip mines. Not all the util has quite been placed yet, which sometimes be a little questionable. The hatch is going to go down, and Rip Red already finding a kill on the Virus.
Yeah, instant start to that round as Rip Red found Virus. Where was that actually? It wasn't under the hatch. Must have been over to the blue staircase side. Yeah, there's 3 members of Team Rush. My camera speed just went to absolute nothing. Let me go first person on board with Jazeel on the drone as I try and fix that. Not sure why my camera speed dropped to 0, but we'll fix it. And yeah, really quick start, but evened up down to a 4v4 now as Ash drops, where Jazeel is going to drop in with the active camo through that hatch. I'm not sure if they're aware of the positioning of Riarpa around this corner. He hears the foam come out, trying to be a little bit sneaky. Perhaps a missed opportunity. No, but he is going to find Jazeel. Now down to a 4v3. Camo work fail. And now a 2v3 as Adrian drops and SA. I keep calling him Easy. SA manages to find another pick through the hole in the wall over by vending machine. We got Salty Raccoon over here and Thriller working his way up orange and blue staircase respectively. So the 2 remaining members of Rush on opposite sides of this map. EMP is down over in that main hallway near the hatch drop, where Riarpa manages to kill him through the hatch room. Camped up in lockers. Let's go on board with Riarpa, as he is going to be the first point of contact as Thriller works his way up the orange staircase side. As you see, still in a nice cheeky position. Thriller carefully working his way through the lockers, checking his angles. Will he be ready for this? His gun barrel is going to poke. Oh, but Riarpa looking the wrong way. Unfortunately, getting timing there, as now the EMP is going to be picked up by Thriller, and Salty Raccoon has worked his way into the generator room. So he's rotated back around into the generator. Not sure if the audio cue was picked up by Fita there, but you've got Thriller in the lockers, pinching onto A, looking for the pick on SA. Finds SA in the lab room, and now all of a sudden, the man advantage goes over to Team Rush. He is going to break this door blocker, and Feta 8-8 left all by his lonesome is going to find the pick onto Salty Raccoon. Thriller position should be known, as he did break the door blocker, and the shots come out. Now he's going to know exactly where he is. Decides to post up into the connector. EMP in hand for Thriller. So with 30 seconds remaining, he has all the tools necessary to change the tide of the clock. Here's the plant come in. Is going to decide to push it. Is it a bait? Thriller is ready for it with the fake plant of the EMP. Baits out the aggression and shuts it down nicely. Beautiful play there by Thriller. You love to see that.
A very, very close situation and a round tragically lost by PVL there. I mean, it came down to such a close 1v1, and they were at the gun disadvantage that round, where they didn't have quite as many, Vezins as they might have hoped for. Riarpa making some use out of that Cadillo, picking up a very early pick, which is exactly what you want, especially when you're down guns. If you can take out as many guns, as many people early on, then you're going to be at a better position later on, and your gun disadvantage isn't going to matter so much because you have the man advantage. And so we saw that from Riarpa. We saw him tucked in the corner. Very, very unfortunate timing. And then at the end, it seemed like they weren't quite 100% certain where the bomb was going down. I'm not sure if the audio cue, if they didn't quite hear it was tucked so deep, but they swung out looking too far left, weren't able to make it back right, made a lot of noise in swinging out as well because they were rushing, trying to make sure the bomb wasn't going down. I think they could pump the brakes a little bit, recognize, hey, even if he plants the bomb, I can still make this my game, because then you can then toy with them, start fake defusing, try to bait them out, and put the ball back in your court. We didn't see it go that way as Rip Red, oh my, instant trades from these teams.
Absolutely. The coordination is starting to pick up on both sides. Very aggressive play here from... Oh, we switched sides here. I got the teams wrong. From PURO, VATO, LOCO. Both vaulting into this orange staircase side. And getting the first pick was Rip Red, but being dropped immediately. Now we're going to see the drone come out from Adrian. Let's go on board with the drone. Working his way into storage. He's going to spot Giselle out. No ping coming through yet, but I'm assuming he's communicating that over to his teammate. Just working his way back up to make sure that his droning body is going to be safe from a lurker. Hopefully, is he going to see Ash in the closet? He is not. He's going to go right by, but he's going to see two members over in this back electric side towards A, but did not spot Ash in the closet there. So I wonder if Ash's position here is going to come into effect. Drone not spotting him out. You got two members of PURO, VATO, LOCO still on this orange staircase side, while Mr. Virus, a dedicated lurker for the team, walking around the other side. Federa finds JJ Zell in the storage room. So that information does come in clutch from the drone. Now, will the miss on Ash in the closet come to punish them? They're not going to expect him here this quickly, and he does manage to find one as he gets aggressive into the storage room, checking the orange staircase. Was he aware of the second? Federa, I believe, was the one that got the kill, so he is. He does manage to drop Federa, and now it's all down to Virus here for Team PURO, VATO, LOCO. Down 5-1. They would really like to win this pistol round, but it's a tall ask. Spectral in hand. He does have a grenade, so we might be able to see some heroics as, once again, playing it patient, punishing the over-aggression from Rush as they go hunting. They don't know where the position is, but now they know. 1v2 situation. Ping comes out. Virus's position is given to the two teammates, and they're going to play it slow. I wonder if they're aware that the EMP is down in storage. It looks like they are, as they are camping towards this storage side room. You've got Salty Raccoon tucked in nicely in this corner towards the outside, and Thriller tucked in nicely on the B bomb site. Is going to get a spot there through the A bomb site onto Virus. And yeah, Virus trying to retake that angle, not a favorable one. He can hit the headshots, it can pay off, but not quite going to pull it off there. As we see a 6-1 scoreline. Matt point now here for Team Rush.
And after the EMP goes down, Rush, they spent a little bit, Ash peeking out, going hunting a little bit, not clearing his angles, ended up costing him his life ultimately, right? But we still see two very disciplined players holding down the EMP, and that angle was disgusting there. I believe it was Thriller who had that, or yeah, Thriller who had that angle there ultimately at the very end, with the Cyclone. Was it Thriller? Trying to look at their economy. I believe it was Thriller, and it's actually a headshot angle, so you can only hit them in the head because only the head's exposed. He actually had his gun held up and sideways, which I thought was really interesting to make sure that, you know, your recoil shots aren't hitting into the box or into the ceiling right above you, to try and get as many bullets down range as you can. All the bullets end up connecting on the headshot nonetheless, taking out Virus and bringing it to a 6-1 scoreline, making it map point for Rush, trying to close out the series.
Absolutely. So once again, perhaps not as a surprise to us, let me adjust the scorelines here as we go up 6-1, and it didn't swap properly. Hopefully the scores will work out. We'll fix it afterwards, but we got 6-1 Rush going into this eighth round of the map. You got 3 members from Team PURO, VATO, LOCO dropping towards this warehouse side. It looks like Salty Raccoon in a cheeky position over here in the corner. The fight comes out from Rip Red. He doesn't need the flank from Raccoon. His position is still unknown, and now the EMP is down. I did not see the ping come out, so I don't believe Rush are aware that they have EMP down, but it's a 2v5 situation as members from Team PVL just dropping like flies to cow pies here. They have managed to find their way over to this other bomb site, but my goodness.
Ace from Rip Red.
Rip Red with, I believe. Actually,
I'm not sure. I know we got the 2. He picked up the last 2 as well. So first 2 and last 2 to close out the series. A very confident. I'm not sure if that was an ace. He can have the honorary ace, I guess, as he closes it out. 7-1 Rush as they close out this series. So 7-0 on the first map. End up dropping the second map, or winning the second map 7-2, and then a 1-7 on the final. So our final scores, as far as rounds are going to go, is going to be 21 rounds to the side of Rush and 3 rounds for the side of PURO, VATO, LOCO.
Yes, as you see the score there, quite messed up on the first map, which the maps looks like they didn't actually update for me. I didn't notice that. A little bit of a bug here with the assets, but map 1 was Hideout, did go 7-0 over to the side of Rush. Map 2, 7-2. Side of Rush, they're going to get a clean sweep. It looks like a 21-3 round scoreline as they take all 3 maps here tonight. So week 2 for VRML heating up. And like we said, these matches are going to get a little bit more intense as we move forward, and the elos for the teams do get spaced out a little bit. You're going to start seeing more even matchups. That's the nice thing about VRML. If you're a newer player, you think maybe you can't hang with these guys with some of these crazy shots and you're afraid of getting wrecked, this is still the perfect league for you to join, because as your elo works down, you'll be playing against other teams at a similar skill level, give you those more competitive matches. So if you are interested in playing Breachers for VRML, please don't hesitate. Jump over to that VRML website and get in on the action. We're having tons of fun, as you can tell. I'm Philibus. Ripster has been my co-caster for tonight. Take it away, Ripster. Anything you want to say to the people before we sign off?
Just absolutely so much fun casting these games. And again, just like Philibus said, if you want to get in, regardless of your skill level, if you're wanting to try and elevate your skill level, there's no better place to do it than VRML, where you can get into more competitive scene, play with some more competitive teammates, and, you know, try and get some team coordination stuff that you really just can't do in public lobbies. And not only that, but then you can try and continue to grow as a team, which is exactly what VRML is going to be all about, is getting these team growth, getting these intense matches, and bringing that content out to you guys. But other than that, it was an absolutely fantastic match tonight. Had some pretty intense moments. Ultimately, Rush is going to take it away. And, you know, fantastic night, and thank you all for joining us. Yeah, definitely dominant performance from Rush, but also a good showing from PVL. They really showed some adaptability, showing a lot of signs of promise for growth over the years. But I've been Philibus. This has been Ripster. I hope you guys had a good time. Tune in for us next time, as we got plenty of matches coming out, plenty of casts for you guys. A lot of content coming the way. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and we will catch you guys next time. Signing out.
preseason of VRML Breachers is brought to you by Triangle Factory, HyperX, Asterion Products, VR Cover, Arma.gg, Kiwi Design, and VRware.net.